that we prepare for all of you. But right now, I would like to welcome you back to our forum. And of course, my name is Kwang Kim Jiran. Once again, it's very honored to be MC for this fantastic session. So this session is the duets on topic inspiring Young CLMVT. This session are going to be one of the highlights of today because we are going to get the honor from our distinguished speakers. The speaker will share their experience and achievement that will inspire young entrepreneurs, especially the CLMVT entrepreneurs, to take advantages on digital technology. Each duet will begin with presenting their products and services and show the product's benefits to facilitate in living, then discuss about the necessary elements for their successful business and the possible cooperations between the duet. So there are going to be 3 duets on this session. The first duet is between a government sectors and construction, material management and administration startup. Second duet, we have transportation platform and the sector that support business growth with digital economy. The third duet are going to be consumer-to-consumer marketplace platform. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the first duet? All right, so we are going to start with government sector and construction, material management and administration startup. So right now I would like to take this opportunity to invite Director of E-Commerce Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. Please give a big round of applause to welcome Mr. Song Ho Kun. Please. And for the next distinguished speakers going up here on the stage, please welcome CEO of Brick One Group. Please give a big round of applause to Mr. Pathai Padungtin. All right, so right now, the first duet, please start.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Can I have my slide? So I will start first as a host country. No, kidding. My name is Pathai. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Build One Group. Can I have my slide? So it's quite interesting that they put construction business and government sector together. Okay, but in some way we find our collaborations. Let me introduce my business first. This is something related to construction with a hard hat and yellow color. Actually, the construction industry is really big industry in Southeast Asia, in CLMVT too. But we are ranked as one of the least digitized industry in the world. Construction, according to McKinsey research. Actually, I'm working in construction and real estate for 18 years till now, which I see a very slow progress of technology development in this industry. We move from hand drawing into a digital drawing, and now just have going to a building information modeling. But it's very slow comparing to other industry. When I see this chart, I can feel like it's lucky for me to start business in very outdated industry like construction. I can use an example from other industry. I can use an example from more digitized industry like media, like finance, insurance, or retail. I can apply those ideas to my industry. But it's not that easy. Today, I would like to show you my journey but I will tell in the flashback way. I will tell you my current situation and how I get to here. We are dreaming of Construction United, which is ideally phrased from my company. I think that the construction industry is like a black box for many years. we can feel that it's huge industry, but no one really know what is inside the industry. Transparency issue is still here, and it's have efficiency issues. Like other industry, when digitization came, the industry have more efficiency. When digitization comes to travel, to commerce, all industry move forward. But construction, how can we digitize this industry? You cannot digitize your brick and mortar, your cement into 0 or 1 like other industry, but it's not that impossible. Current market, we are working on 4 markets right now in Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand. We hope that we can help other countries digitize their construction industry too. CLMV is a huge opportunity. Talking about construction, it's not just a residential construction. Building a house is just a small part of the industry. The whole construction industry comprises of residential, commercial construction, industrial construction, and also government spending into the infrastructure construction. It's still booming in developing countries. But digitization, if we can digitize the industry, we can see the new way of doing business in construction. In Thailand, every month, Ministry of Commerce will announce that construction business is one of the most failure business category every month. And it's one of the most easiest to start business in Thailand as well. Every month, it is the report from Ministry of Commerce. I was one of that. I was a general contractor business before. Today, we are ranked as a top 100 startups that transforming construction industry from CB Insight, the research company in the US. We got invest by strategic investor, Milcon Steel Public Company, and Adventures by SCG, Siam Cement Group. Okay. They are our strategic investor. Today, our business expand into 4 markets, and the business model is developing. So we have 5 products and 1 online construction store. This is a prototype store, but we can show the world that construction industry or construction e-commerce is really happening here. Let me introduce my products. We started with this product 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. It's called Pochaman. It's coming from project accounting management. We developed old terms called ERP. It's Enterprise Resource Planning Software for construction industry. We are the first construction-specific ERP in Thailand back in 2005, 13 years ago. But today we move into the cloud-based, and our customer, they are the leading construction companies in the region, including Japanese contractors like Obayashi, Nishimatsu, and other big firms in Thailand. The stock-listed construction companies use our ERP to control their business, to control their construction projects. But this is SME. I was an SME before. I developed software like a software house or enterprise business solutions. But it's not that startup yet. I found there are some limitations in terms of business model of doing a software business. We cannot really expand even we are the technologies company, but our sales cycle is still long. Our business are still service-oriented. It's coming up to the idea of more startup business in 2010. I launched a second business unit called Build. Build is our dream that we want to make a business that's scalable and repeatable, like the startup definition. But we don't really know what to do it. We put our software on the cloud, and we try to find the right business model for many years. Today, Build is 100% free business management software for construction industry. It sounds ridiculous that to make a software 100% free. But what I do believe is these developing countries, our market, our region, you need something to become a foundation of the industry to jump to the next curve. I got inspired by many free services that we have today. Thanks to Facebook, thanks to Google, thanks to YouTube, thanks to Line, our chat messaging apps. They start offering a free service and then we adopt it slowly, step by step, until it reached some critical mass. And then it's changed our life till today. I would like to change the way construction business works and start with free software. But free is not that simple. We make free software, we almost give up many times that even we give away for free, but very few people can use our software every day. But today, we have 28,000 construction companies run their business on our platform, free of charge, but we find a way to monetize it. The way we monetize it is we position ourselves as a B2B construction marketing. We get money from construction brands to fund the operation, the software on the cloud and let many people use it free of charge. We become a marketing tools and marketing partner for these brands. Today we work with more than 30 construction brands across the region with free software. Just like Facebook, right? We can use Facebook all for free, but it got sponsored on the right-hand side. We're doing the same thing until now, 8 years. But what I've learned is that we have to do a lot of offline working. Offline work is really important because we convert construction people from offline to online. It's not that easy. Not just make a software or make an app and then you can get millions of users or hundreds of users that easy. So we do a lot of networking events, meeting construction people, construction professionals. This is a challenge as adoption rate is slow in our industry. We have many kind of activities, sharing, learning. Not only in Thailand, we have our event every week in Myanmar today. And yeah, we expand our community. It becomes a community of innovative contractors working together. And this is a real, actual graph of our growth. It was our first 4 or 5 years is coming with the flat growth. We cannot find the right way to grow our user until some certain tipping point. We work closely with the bank, we work closely with the government that build a trust on our platform. They also believe, they also help us do some research, and then the trust is, we gain some trust, and then the user base is picking up. After user base picking up, a new opportunity just comes. The real opportunity, the real potential of our business is not just like free platform and get advertising. In 2014, we've learned that not just advertising platform for sure. What we have is a big data for construction activities. We learned that the data that we have, starting from when construction business plan their projects. After that, they purchase construction materials, they request for quotation from the suppliers. What we have is that many data points, millions of data points every year will be analyzed. And it's coming up with the big data business model. So we add on the value of data analytics or market research for the construction brands. They can understand their customer clearer and see the potential of their business. We analyze what modern trade really affect construction industry here. We can see the real demand of rebar in each region of Thailand. That is a big data. And I've got the chance to be in Silicon Valley in 2014. Many advisors, many mentors also said that doing just big data is not big enough. What else? We have data, we have community, we have expertise. I come back and I try to explore a next business model, our next big thing. It's coming to the construction materials, e-commerce. From the data that we have, we can analyze it, we can see more opportunity, we can match the demand and supply from two sides together and increase the efficiency of construction materials ordering and reduce some risk in terms of financial payment in construction business. So today we are the B2B e-commerce for construction materials that blend into their workflow. We call ourselves a workflow integrated marketplace. We sell from a single piece of nail to a big excavator. We also sell cross-border to our neighbor in Laos and in Myanmar. But not only e-commerce is the right model for us. We still face a lot of challenge. We cannot deliver construction materials in some certain area or some kind of material that needs some assortment or small ordering. We cannot manage to serve that customer group. So we extend our reach into, we have to build our own distribution network. 2016, we launched a new program called Jubilee, which is an O2O, an online to offline, that bridge construction store into the picture of digital commerce. We transform small and medium mom and pop construction shops into an e-commerce outlet. With the software that we provide to them, they become a part of the logistic network today. And our user, our contractor, who is our user, who are our users, can access to those mom and pop shops easily. But from construction store, construction business, big and small, we also see the opportunities in terms of our sibling industry, construction and also real estate industry. So we extend ourselves into real estate business. We develop a software. We know ourselves, our advantages is about productivity improvement. We have a team of 120 people in our office today. We develop a software to increase efficiency in every small process of this business, starting from CRM, ERP, or other business process. We develop a CRM, but mainly we try to target on small and medium business. We try to empower them, let them use a software with a small fee or even free business model. We work with them. We also have an after-sale service for high-rise condominium, which is a chat-based warranty service. We work with leading real estate developers in Thailand. So that is our business, coming to 5 products and 1 online store. The online store is proven that we can sell construction materials even we don't have our own warehouse. We have zero inventory. We don't have even a fleet of trucks, but we can sell construction materials this year, $20 million. Our growth is more than 300% for 3 consecutive years. With the right business model coming up, I think this is a startup journey that all the founders looking for, a real business model. We try to put the creativities and technologies together to change the construction industry. The industry that people say is very hard to disrupt. But that is my current situation. Go back to 10 years ago, 13 years ago, I was a general contractor. PowerPoint or this business model, innovation, disruption, is not the words that come to my mind. I have to supervise construction site, and I travel around countries, working like a low-tech entrepreneur. But opportunity, internet is our new way of doing business. I always thanks to the existence of internet, right? I can learn new things. I can see a good example from other countries, good example of other industry, and I try on my business. I've got a chance to pitch in the startup stage, my first startup stage pitch in 2012 in Singapore. Because at that time, there is no startup event or support here in Thailand. We are pretty new. Our startup ecosystem in Thailand just built up after 2012. Before that, I have to been to Vietnam, pitch in the university in Ho Chi Minh City, and I got selected to pitch the final round in Singapore. And I can say that startup life is really like a roller coaster. Once you got some media coverage or you got some award, winning some prize, it's really, really hype in your life. Your moral is really good, but after that, you will face a lot of challenge. I would like to talk to young CLMVT entrepreneurs that we have to be through this. When we are so high and when we are so low, okay? I was there when we are the winner, when we were the most promising startup in Asia. And then after that, I can come and talk to many investors across the region. We got some money, but we found that we still lost it. We lost our way. This is me in 2012 as a most promising startup in Asia. I'm lucky enough that I got selected to go to Silicon Valley in 2013 and 14. We are the first Thai startup that joined 500 Startup Accelerator in Silicon Valley. I've learned a lot that Silicon Valley is not like what we've seen on internet or not what we've seen in the books, not reading in the books. Many entrepreneurs have been through up and down. There are many startups that fail more than I really expect. More than 90% of startups fail. We launched and learned many things along the way. I think we launched more than 10 products, and we already kill many ideas along the way. Keep pivoting, and pivoting. That is the startup life. It's not that easy to change the behavior, right? It's easy to make an app. It's easy to make a startup business, a new platform. It's easy. Your developer can make it. But it's not easy to change the behavior. So the key is we need to change the behavior of our customers to the new one. We used to hail a taxi on the street, but now today we use a ride-hailing app. Changing behavior is not that easy. What we're trying to do is we try to focus on some specific customer group and learn with them. Get some feedback and improve our service. Many things went wrong, but we try to improve it. We're building up our blocks step by step. We're building up a construction community before going to the big data business and going to the e-commerce, going to the marketplace. I think it's starting from a solid foundation from our focus. But today, I think we make some impact to the construction industry in Thailand. We work with TDRI, Thailand Research Institute, okay? TDRI also give a very good number that our platform really help small and medium construction business save their cost 2.6%. That is a research in 2016. That is an impact that I'm looking for. Doing business as a founder, as an entrepreneur, money is what you are looking for sure, but impact makes your life meaningful, right? Today we make some impact and we also share and learn from new startup, a younger startup. So Thailand startup ecosystem is building up after that, after my alone journey. After 2012, many co-working space popping up, many government agencies help supporting startup because this is a way to create a nation wealth, a new way of create a new group of entrepreneurs. So we have a very good partnership with corporates, partnership with government. There are many startups. I also co-found Thailand Tech Startup Association. I was a former president of Thailand Tech Startup Association. I can see the good progress of the Thailand development of startup scenes. But not only in Thailand. Today, the world has no boundary. Our region, CLMVT, or other ASEAN countries, we are all connected. And learning from each other, sharing our story to each other, is really help in terms of development. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I would like to all of us to hear the lesson from our friend, Mr. Song from MDEC Malaysia.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much to the Ministry of Commerce for inviting me for sharing in this forum. I learned a lot for the last 1 or 2 days. There's a lot of lessons I can learn from here. But truly, in these particular sessions, I would like to share what we have done in Malaysia. In this case, truly is a sharing what we have done. Probably some of these ideas can be, expand in the countries around here. Now, MDEC, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, is a government agency. We are tasked to drive the Malaysian digital economies. I'm going to talk very fast later. The reason why is because I have a lot of slides, but it will be concept. So if you later have anything you want to ask, you can always contact me later on, right? So in Malaysia, we have quite a fair bit of tech entrepreneur like Batai, and we really work hard to make sure that this group of people really drive, because these are the future of the country. We do this, we look into 4 areas in Malaysia. Of course, the first one is about driving investment, and most importantly is about building local companies, tech companies in particular, and also building the ecosystem so that it's conducive for the tech companies to flourish. But last but not least is about digital inclusiveness. So we talk a lot about tech startup, but what about the SME, right? So this, for me, the digital inclusiveness is the demand that we need to generate. We need adopters. Adopters means people who later use the particular products that you have developed. So we do a lot in these areas of digital inclusiveness. Very quickly, a slide on the investment. So we are actively getting investors to come to Malaysia to set up what do you call that? Their company in Malaysia. Mainly, the reason why is to create jobs, digital-related jobs, not just any jobs, right? So, talking about building the local companies, we also help not only the Malaysia startup, but as well as a foreign tech startup. If you come to Malaysia, we will definitely link you up and help you to grow. Some of the companies that's already here, like Grab and Karina, we have helped them one way or another in their journey to become a unicorn. How we do that? We look into areas like market access, mentoring programs for them, money, in this case funding, as well as making them visible. Whenever we go on trade missions, whenever we have any events inside or outside the country, especially outside the country, we bring them along to features to the potential investor out there, right? So currently there's about 150 companies, big companies that we have identified ready to go out of Malaysia, tech company in this particular case. So third is about ecosystem. Ecosystem is very critical. We want to build an ecosystem that is conducive to develop that particular industry, the technology, as well as the talent. So what are the ecosystem we have? Obviously, the digital hub that we have. I think it's like any other countries in this region, we are now building a lot of setting up a lot of digital hub. And we bring all the ecosystem players into this digital hub so that it's less painful for people like yourself to look for these people. They are all at the doorstep in this particular digital hub. So we do a lot of, like for example, the tech companies, the talent development companies, And the ASEAN linkage is very important because if you say from Malaysia, you say that you want to go to Indonesia and you want to expand your business in Indonesia, you can work with the partners there that we can link you up. Same facility you will enjoy. So these are the things we do. Obviously, exposed to the big company in Malaysia is one of the ways we have helped you, funding as well as some incentive that we can give to startup in Malaysia. Now, we also recognize the digital hub that we set up is pretty much general for all the different tech companies, but we also have a lot of programs to help specific technology or to develop. For example, edX is about big data. So we have a center specifically for big data, for people to come and play and use and collaborate, right? So, but edX have one very unique, or I would say one very specific objective that is different from other what they call ecosystem is about developing the talent. This is one of the main KPI for edX. We want to develop 20,000 data professionals by the year 2020, and currently we're sitting around 7,000. But just developing this new data professional is not good enough. We also look into the leaders. We look into how to make our leaders, the business leaders, who is also data analytics savvy. We work together with Harvard Business School, and then we'll bring them to Malaysia and make it accessible for business leader in Malaysia to learn from this business school so that they are more data savvy. We also, fintech is another areas that we have programmed that specifically want to develop the fintech industry. Again, this is an ecosystem or this place where we bring all the interest party to come to this area, this space, we call it the fintech space, where you can meet all the stakeholders. Next is about cybersecurity. Obviously, this is another program that is very important when you come to digital economy. Cybersecurity, we have developed a framework so that you can the technology, the tech entrepreneur can make use of the facilities to test and to your applications. Another areas that for digital economies that is very much coming up and is coming up strongly is the animation industry. We also classify this under the digital economies. And currently we have homegrown about 20 IPs, these animations, and now we are bringing them out of Malaysia, so export this IP. This is an AI framework. Artificial intelligence is also very critical to us. Malaysia digital economies, we also have developed an AI framework for the industry players so that we can help them less painful in the journey. For technopreneurs who have ideas and you think that you can come to Malaysia, you want to come to Malaysia, we make it easy for you to come to Malaysia and work from Malaysia. Why Malaysia? Because I think Malaysia has all the ingredients that for you to test your ideas, because first of all our cost overall is low, but not only that, but important is that we somehow have all the components in terms of markets, in terms of infrastructures for you to test whatever ideas that you have. We make it easy for you to come to Malaysia and do your startup, like example your work permits and all that, right? Now, the fourth element, which is very critical, is about generating the demand. We talk a lot about startup, but what about SME? What about the businesses? How are we make sure, as a government agency, how are we make sure our people are also, consuming these digital products? So first stop is talk about the big companies. We have a program called DTAP. What happened is that identify some of these big companies, and we see that they are not adopting what you call technologies, and they're wasting a lot of resources. One of the example is a glove manufacturing manufacturers. We identify and say that we can help you how to using IoT, how to improve your productivity. We don't just go any industry. We identify based on the industries or the segment that is high impact to our GDP, in this case the manufacturing and the wholesales and retail. So we look into the areas which we think that is going to have high impact to the country. So, and we help them to deploy technologies to help them in their day-to-day. What about the micro? What about the SME? How to ensure they also get into the bandwagon of digital economy? This is the area of e-commerce. What happened is that we figure out, I think just like Thailand, with or without government intervention, the e-commerce it will grow. But in Malaysia, what we are thinking of, with right interventions from the Malaysian government, we hope to double the growth. Right? So this is what we are thinking. If without any intervention from the government, we think it will grow probably close to about 10%, 10 to 11%. But with the right intervention from the government, we hope to grow, double that growth by 2020. So what we set up to do is to set up we have what we call the National E-Commerce Strategic Roadmap that map up the whole activities and plans that to grow the e-commerce industry in Malaysia. There's 6 trust areas in this particular NESR or National E-Commerce Strategic Roadmap: the seller adoption, the procurement, tariff. We look into all these areas in order to help the e-commerce to grow. The first 2 trust areas, which is the seller adoption. Seller adoption means people who are using the businesses who are using internet or e-commerce to conduct their business, and also for the trust area number 2, which is the e-procurement. These 2 areas is the highest impact comparing to the other trust areas. So we pay more emphasis on this. What happened is with this NESR, we work with all the rest of the government agency to drive this particular initiative. We look into areas of whether the SME are they micro SME or they're just SME or they're ready. So what will happen is that we help them to go on board to either social commerce or go on to Lazada or 11th Street to sell their products. And when they are ready to export, we also have an initiative to help them to do cross-border e-commerce, right? So not only we onboard them to this marketplace, we also work with the marketplace to drive demand. Because coming on board to just do e-commerce, if they don't have any success, they may not stay there long enough. So what we do is we work with what we call the e-marketplace to have campaigns. One of the campaigns that we have locally is the cyber sales, which is similar to the Double 11 of China, but in a local smaller scale. We've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years. What happened is that we make it exciting for people to purchase and also sell on the internet. We grow them, not only we place them, we also grow them from very small to until they are able to do cross-border e-commerce. So we have programmed to grow the seller as well. Now, who are the seller? They are in this particular program, we call it e-Rezeki program. This particular program, we look into the individual who want to earn some money from the e-commerce industries. In this case, these are the people who are freelancer. We are looking into areas that we will set up a platform for them to have jobs that can, for example, some jobs like translation or simple jobs that can get from the internet, right? So these are some of the results. We have very important is the number of people trained. Over the last 3 years, we have trained about 150,000 users of this particular portal to consume, to get jobs. And very important is to see how much earning they have. What they have. It is about 125, millions of worth of jobs under this particular program. So these are individual. What about the micro SME? Micro SME, we have yet another program. We have e-Rezeki, we have e-Usahawan. This one is for the micro SME. We help them, we conduct classes, we help them to show them how to use social commerce to sell. Right? So these are the micro. Same, we measure the adoption. Very important is to see how much they also earn. In this case, over the last 3 years, under this particular program, we have generated about 230 million. Very quickly, for this, what about the SME? It's slightly bigger from the industry. So we have a program, we call it Go E-Commerce. Go E-Commerce is an online resource center. What happened is that we put a lot of content, videos, content, trainings, so that this SME can come on board and learn how to do e-commerce. These are for the slightly tech-savvy SME. We gamify it. The way we gamify it is that if you, take some of these online courses, you will get some points, and with the points, you can exchange for services. For example, after I collected some points, I can use it to buy a payment gateway from one of the provider in Malaysia. Okay, the last but not least is the program for for cross-border e-commerce. Probably you heard about our digital free trade zone. This is a project we initially worked with Alibaba, and we set up this particular digital free trade zone with two very important objectives. That is to help the SME to do cross-border e-commerce, and also we want to use Malaysia. We want everyone to use Malaysia as a regional distribution hub. This particular free trade zone has three very important components. The first component is a physical component, which is the e-fulfillment hub, meaning is the logistics center is specifically for e-commerce purpose. As you know, the traditional way of exporting probably by container, but in this case is parcel, right? So SME can put their products in this particular logistics center, and when they sell, for example, in Thailand, if somebody buys things from them, then the logistics center in this particular hub can help them to pack, pay, and deliver. And if there is a return, for example, how to handle it, all these are all helping them in this particular portal. And to do that, we have a digitalized facilitation portal to ensure that all these things are tied together, right? So that is our digital or platform or portal. And very important is the SME. The third component is the human component, which is the SME, training them to make sure that they are able to use these facilities. Last year, we go around the country, we run about 80 workshops. We recruit all the SME to come on board. And this year, we run a lot of campaigns, getting them to be campaign-specific training to make sure they are world-class, able to use, for example, Alibaba.com to conduct e-commerce, right? So this is cross-border e-commerce, but we also understand helping the SME probably at this moment is still okay. But what about in the future? So for digital economy, we also work with, in the educational space, what we want to do is to build the future workforce that is tech-savvy. So we work with university and school. The way we work with the university is to pair them with the industry players, and to make sure that whatever the courses that this particular university they conduct, they are in comply to what the industry needs. And if they have met this requirement, we give them a status of the Pride University. So for what about for the kids? We also make sure that the kids are all of us know in the future, right? The jobs that of the future may not be, what we have seen today. So we have done program like we call My Digital Maker. We teach the kids how to idealize their whatever they want to do, how to make it, do prototyping, and how to do even pitchings, right? So we have center around the country to help these kids around Malaysia, about 32 centers. So that is very much I want to share with you what we have done in Malaysia. I hope that some of this idea, you can feedback to us whether you want to know more, or we can. Definitely, the last 2 days I have learned quite a lot from everyone who have presented. So that if we can do this together, I hope that we can make it less painful for people like Mr. Patai, to grow in this digital space. Thank you very much.
Mr. Song, what is your last key takeaway and our linkage between our session, please?
I think the linkage between you and me is we are in the same space.
Yeah.
So, but the big difference is up here.
Okay.
Yeah. I have more hair than you. No, I think the common between you and me, we all want to be successful, especially for the people, the young people of this region. I think that is the very important thing. And then from the government side, I think I speak for Thai government as well in this case, is that we do whatever we can to make sure that the youngsters of now and the future will really benefit from digital economy.
Okay. Yeah. For me, personally, I think as a fellow entrepreneur, I think our government agencies in your countries try to support us. Be open and explore those support. Today, the support on digital support is easy. You can just learn and give them a feedback or keep learning loop, digital loop, like digital entrepreneurs should do. Other thing is, I'm quite interested in his presentation that even government agencies can think like a startup. Your KPI is different from other government agencies. It's not a number of attendees. You try to grow your entrepreneur, your startup or SMEs, and the KPI is growing how many percentage of GMV. That kind of thing is more a startup mindset in government agency. It's possible. So that, I think, this is our linkage for this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Another round of applause for our two distinguished speakers. There's a wonderful session for the first start. Very good. Okay, so please remain on stage. As the appreciation, we would like to give you some of souvenir. So once again, please welcome Director General Trade Policy and Strategy Office, Ministry of Commerce, Thailand. Ms. Pim Chanok Wonkorpon will give an honor to deliver and present a special gift to our distinguished guests. Thank you very much once again. That's a very wonderful session. So that we just have finished for the first duet between a government sector and a construction material management and administration startup.